This penny stock has just printed a beautiful weekly candle, and we are seeing it right now. The last time I covered this was 7 months ago. This is DeFi Technologies. Over 4,000 of you guys watched this sponsored video because they crushed earnings by 1,300%. Now, when I did cover this video on September 12th, 2024, we can see that since then the stock is up substantially. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about with DeFi today. I'm going to tell you about the stock in case you didn't see the original video, what is going on. And I think it's important because, yes, this is a sponsored stock, but we are now entering price discovery. I will explain what that is in 1 second. But with revenues exploding, nearly CA 80 million in cash and digital assets, and CA $9 price target, DeFi Technologies may be a smart way to ride the Bitcoin wave. Now, we are seeing other analysts upgrade their price targets here with a minimum of $3.60, an average of $4.85, and a max of $6.50. But that is not all analysts are expecting, and I actually don't think that that is all we will get to. I think the stock has a lot of room for upside, and you can see that it's being picked up by institutions. One, we already hit the first price target above 360, which a lot of people didn't even think we were going to hit. And next, I think the fib level at 560 as well as the fib level at 9 could very well get hit, which is a 200% upside from here. And we can see that institutions, bigger players are increasing the volume on these push higher. When the stock pushes higher, like you see here, we saw a lot of volume, like you see down here. When the stock pushed higher, in this chunk, we've seen a lot of volume. Okay, so the stock is seeing a lot of positive buying pressure. As far as the last bit of charts that I want to touch on very quickly before I tell you about the company, what they do, so on and so forth, see if you guys are interested. Again, do your own due diligence. I can't tell you what to buy, hold, or sell, but this is a $3 stock, and it's one of the better performers that we bring up here on the channel. And this has entered price discovery. What is price discovery? Well, it is surpassing the all-time high of the stock, which you can see the high back here is about 350. We just came up and we tested above 350. We actually came up to about 376 as the peak. And what this does is, yes, you're assuming a rejection at all-time highs, of course, but we are already building a strong base to come back up and retest that. Once you're outside of price discovery, this is very important because after you break all-time highs and you get in this range, the market in general is now going to consider, is the price valued at this price? Is the price valued at this price? When there is no new resistance, it's very important because investors don't really understand where this is going to get to, and it has to find a base where there's equal supply and demand. So if we come break out of price discovery once again, we could have a big move. Now, this company provides public market exposure to digital assets via regulated exchange traded products. And basically, they make money on management fees on AUM from ETPs, which 8 to 10% annually on CA, cost adjusted of $1.46 billion in AUM as of January 2025. They make money from staking rewards from holding underlying crypto in the ETPs, and securities lending and node operations generate yield for them as well. Proprietary trading and arbitrage strategies via their DeFi Alpha unit, and then potential future revenues from AI-driven asset management via Neuronomics JV. So they operate Valor, their flagship asset management platform, one of the leading issuers of crypto ETPs in Europe. They offer 60 plus ETPs tracking assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Polkadot, and more. They recently launched SoFi and CoreFi, two new arms targeting the Solana and Bitcoin DeFi ecosystems. And then they're also pursuing expansion into Africa, Asia, and the Middle East through new listings and partnerships. Now, they did have some big recent news. They surpassed $1.46 billion in US. This is $1.02 billion in 2025, in January 2025, which is huge because that is up 133% year over year. They refiled Form 40-F on April 16th, 2025, which just happened, progressing towards NASDAQ uplisting. Now, if they get this, the stock is not going to be, in my opinion, sitting anywhere close to $3 for a long time. I think that's going to pick up a whole new mountain of buying pressure if that gets approved. Launched 20 new ETPs in November 2024, 40 more planned for 2025. And they entered strategic partnerships with Asia Next, Savfi, and NSE Africa for global expansion. And they acquired majority stake in Neuronomics, a Swiss AI asset management firm, and they added to MSCI Canada Small Cap Index, increasing institutional visibility. Now, only a few public companies offer direct, diversified exposure to digital assets, so this is one thing to focus on. This is one of those companies. They have 204.3 million in 2024 adjusted net revenue, and then up 39% EPS, which is strong profitability. 80 million in combined cash and digital assets on their balance sheet. Bullish analyst targets as well, upwards of $9, and that is again before the NASDAQ listing. They are also positioned to benefit from the ETF boom, crypto institutional adoption, and macro uptrend in Bitcoin. So if you do think we are going to get more up moves on this cycle for Bitcoin, this might be a good idea. NASDAQ uplisting pending. Obviously, that's something we have to watch for as well, because that could be a huge catalyst, huge potential institutional inflows on that if we get accepted. 40 more ETPs launching in 2025, which is going to be huge. A lot more revenue coming in for the company. Then they're branching out to other countries as well. They're also about to grow their AI exposure through that partnership that they made. And then they have new staking all the time and yield generating strategies, which is always good. So they have bull case forecast AUM could reach 2 billion by end of 2025. The company is growing strongly. It's no longer ready to sit below $1 because the company is actually bringing value to the table. And I'm just glad that we brought this up to a lot of your guys' attention. A lot of you guys were interested in this one, and it is time to bring it back. So this is a full-blown update as to what the company has been doing. They've been profitable. They've been showing signs of strength. They've been announcing new partnerships, announcing new news, expanding their revenue sources. And now they are basically very well positioned for 2025, but potentially getting listed on the NASDAQ. So that is something that we are watching for as well. If you bit part of this one off, you guys would be up a decent amount. Since this stock was called out, it was up about 116% since the call out, and now it is still currently up a decent amount, somewhat around 50 to 70%, somewhere around that range. So let me know in the comments down below if you are buying into DeFi Technologies. Again, this is a sponsored stock. Do your own due diligence. I can't tell you what to buy, hold, or sell. This is not financial advice, all that other good stuff. But this one is definitely a gem, in my opinion, to watch for, keep an eye on. And the past couple that we have brought to your attention have been doing very, very well. But again, high risk, high reward. Yeah, all that other good stuff. That is it, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of DeFi Technologies. Is it going to make a run through 2025? How big can this grow into 2026, 2030 if we are listed on the NASDAQ? What do you guys think? Is this a very, very early investment opportunity? How high can we actually go? That is it. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.